Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's time for another daily dose of dismal Disney. This is the New York Times, you know, the gray lady, the bastion of journalistic integrity.
Bastion. I thought you said something else. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, they have essentially written a eulogy for Disney. They're like, Disney was a language. Disney was our culture. Disney was this. Disney was that. Disney was everything. Do we still speak the language of Disney, or are people just moving on? And given the box office receipts, given public sentiment, I think people are just moving on. Mm-hmm. So we'll talk about that, and also MAGA's being blamed for Disney by Newsweek.
Right, because if you don't like their movies, it's because you're alt-right.
You're alt-right. Actually, I thought first when I saw this, I'm like, they wouldn't actually put that in the headline on Newsweek, would they? I thought it was Disney is in trouble with manga. Manga is the reason Disney's in trouble, because everybody's reading that.
Because everybody doesn't like Disney. Clearly a MAGA hat wearing, whatever.
Oh my God.
Nobody who votes Democrat, whatever, disagree with Disney. Anyway.
Disney's in trouble with MAGA. Yeah, so we're going to talk about this, guys. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. You get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Go out to shopclownfish.com. That's shopclownfish.com. We've reopened the second chance offer for Crimson Wren. And previously on Clownfish TV, the graphic novels, they are in stock now. They will ship within a few days of you ordering them. Geeky is furiously packing.
I'm not actually angry.
No, sometimes she is. Oh, we also have Dismal Disney shirts, too. You can watch the kingdom burn. You can wear it. You can wear it on
that's
your chest.
perfectly fitting for this video.
It is.
And it's not just us now. I mean, gosh, it started out as us pulling like, hey, there's smoke, Castle's smoking. Hey, guys, just FYI, there's issues. There's issues. You're horrible. There's no issues. And now here they all come down from on high years later. Oh, my God, guys, guess what? There are issues. They now count because we said so.
Yeah, so you know, yeah, exactly. For how long have we been doing this channel? 5 or 6 years?
We were doing stuff before this.
We were calling it out on a Disney podcast before this. We've actually been calling out some of Disney's missteps since like 2014, 2015.
I don't know. It's been a long time.
And look, the missteps have definitely increased since like 2019, 2020. But we were told we were not allowed to say anything. You're just looking for reasons to hate Disney. What's wrong with you? Disney's fine. Disney's never been better than ever. It's just because you're just some alt-right Nazi MAGA hat wearing whatever. You just hate Mickey Mouse. You hate fun. Blah, blah, blah.
That's always my favorite. You hate fun.
Blah, 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 blah. This went on for years. Pixie dusters and probably paid shills and all this shit. So here we are. Here we are now. The New York fucking Times has
they have a new word in their name.
The NYFT. They are basically writing an obituary for Disney as being relevant to pop culture. That's
funny. They bought all the pop culture, but then they somehow the company owns some of the most iconic things in history, cinema history and pop culture history, have found a way to make them, boring and worthless.
Yeah, so they start out, this article, they started out with talking about Walt Disney's own obituary. That genius as a creator of folklore was in his obituary. And they talk about how the company has been a huge part of American folklore for 100 years. Mm-hmm. And it goes on in the history, and we get that, whatever. And here are some, Davy Crockett was a big deal, blah, 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 blah. When I was a tween, Mulan. Okay, we get that. They briefly mentioned the evangelical boycott of Disney with the gay days, right? But this is where it gets really interesting. We get all the way down here.
Ah, there's a lot of paragraphs.
It's a very long eulogy. Yeah. All right. Disney is still the most dominant entertainment company in Hollywood, but it no longer seems invincible. Perhaps the move toward entertainment as content.
Yes.
Yep. An endless stream of stuff pushed down a set of tubes into your living room is to blame. No, the stuff that they're putting in the tubes sucks. The tubes suck. To understand the latest.
Not in a fun way.
Not in a fun way. No, I think they probably would have more viewers.
It's more like the Saw way where they suck out your eyeballs than it is a fun sucky suck. Anyway.
Whoa. They strap you to a chair and they pry open your eyelids. You have to have watched more than 30 films and a few series to understand the MCU. Scarcity gives breathing room, allowing anticipation to grow. Well, that's the thing. That's the problem with Star Wars, too, is we've had too much Star Wars, and it's been shitty Star Wars.
Well, even above that, they're talking about Wish, and they said it feels like a generic as if generated by an AI trained on the Disney catalog. Nothing you remember. They said there's not a singable tune in the show. This is New York Times, not us.
This is the New York Times. So when we've got, major approved media outlets calling the time of death on Disney and pointing out all the things that YouTubers like us have been saying for years. And look, we're not just anti-Disney YouTubers. We were actually sitting at the right hand of Mickey Mouse for a while. We actually were paid Disney influencers, and we were basically paid to be Mickey's cheerleader, right?
And then when you start questioning things, then you're like, oh, you must be
Then you're no
banished.
longer paid, is what happens.
Go to the shadows.
Go to the shadows. But when you've got Jay Rizzullo out there, who was the CFO of Disney for a long time, coming out and saying, hey, the company's broken and I don't recognize
no shit.
No shit. No shit. So they said the same factors change Hollywood. They're giving them a pass. That's not true. It's Disney has been.
Well, I think it's somewhat true. I mean, Hollywood themselves keep doing the same thing too, but Disney just has done it to a much larger scale,
That's
farther
just it.
direction.
Disney pushed it harder. They're the ones who decided to take their movies, their billion-dollar movies, and water them down, turn them into shitty TV shows. And then get rid of everything that worked in the movies. Like, why do people go see these movies? Oh, they love Tony Stark. They love Steve Rogers.
I love Luke Skywalker.
They love Luke Skywalker. Let's get rid of all of them and replace them. Put a woman in it.
There's a reason that everybody thought that South Park episode was funny, and they keep quoting it because everybody knows it's actually true.
So they said that there are business pitfalls if you have record success like Disney. This year's relative flops for the studio.
But they
Pretty
all
much
flopped.
Every movie
movie
except Guardians 3 flopped.
I mean, the closest one they had to a success, I mean, other than Guardians 3, which, was maybe The Little Mermaid. And even then, if it breaks even, it's going to be barely.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I keep forgetting Indiana Jones came out this year.
Yep.
I keep forgetting it came out. The Marvels and Wish. They said, we got to a point where if a film didn't do $1 billion at the box office, we were disappointed, said Iger. That's an unbelievably high standard, and I think we have to
break even. Okay, whoa. That's an unbelievably high standard. I think we have to get more realistic. You know what would be good? Breaking even.
Breaking even.
Profit. That's a really shitty. Okay, Iger. We didn't do $1 billion. We thought it was just we were disappointed. Yeah, but you should at least fucking break even, shouldn't you? You're not even doing that because you're overspending on dog shit. Godzilla. Okay, with a much smaller budget, is kicking your ass. The Barbie movie kicked your ass.
Everybody is kicking your ass.
The guy who made the atomic bomb kicked your ass.
I know, right?
Who would have thought that a depressing movie about atomic warfare would beat Disney fun? It did. It was more fun than Disney. What's that tell you?
Yes, watching a guy create a bomb that's going to kill millions of people, much more fun.
That's sad. That's major failure, dumbass.
God. All right, so here we go. For me, Disney's tepid year raises questions more existential than financial. For a long time, with a few exceptions, Frozen, Moana, and Kanto, Disney has furnished fewer ubiquitous oh my God, this is obviously written by someone who fancies themselves a journalist. Disney has furnished fewer ubiquitous cultural touch points than it once did. The glut of content, plus the many small screens offering enticing alternatives to big screen entertainment, like YouTube, damn YouTubers, are cutting into the ability the studio once had to capture imagination across generations. So basically, Disney's not as relevant as they used to be because they're not releasing big pop culture moments anymore. It used to be that Disney was like it, man. Like everybody watched Disney movies, except they're forgetting the 70s and the early 80s weren't so great either.
Well, you're did they say they were around during that time period?
They were tweens when the Disney Renaissance happened. So, yeah, I don't think they remember it very well. It may be inevitable. It's probably not even worth lamenting unless you're a shareholder. Oh, my God. Or a hardcore Disney fan. Plenty of the world was never represented in Disney stories. Plenty of its repackaging of history and legends and tall tales stripped out the unpleasant details and uncomfortable lessons.
Well, you can't have it both ways, dude. Or she, or whoever the hell you are.
It's a she.
Oh, you can't have both. Well, I call everybody dude, so whatever. You can't have it both ways, because here's the thing. When one breath you're saying that's no longer culturally relevant, and, you know, and it used to be like this big thing, and the next breath you're saying that, you know, oh, well, Disney stories sanitize things. Well, when they sanitized things, they were a hell of a lot more popular. So, you know, what do you want here? If you want them to go back to be like teach uncomfortable lessons and put agenda in it, they did, and look what happened.
I love this. Its notions of hard work and believing in yourself as the sole key to success reads a bit outdated to today's savvy kids.
What? Because you don't want hard work and believing in yourself is outdated. Hard work.
Yeah, because you should just be handed everything.
That's why you have these little shits who think that they're owed something. I should be hired even though I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing at work, because I have good vibes. You have a legion of entitled little shits who think they're just owed something. They don't have to work for anything. And then they have people crying in their car and on videos of them crying because, oh my God, guys, work is hard. I have to drive to work, and then I go home, and then I don't get any time for me, and I had to work a whole shift, and I had to work. Real world sucks. I'm just like, you know, a lot of us feel the same way, but it's just, you know.
So
try to work in the hours we work. Anyway,
yeah, right. So anyway, they talk about how Hollywood, all of Hollywood is facing challenges right now, but Disney's challenges are more difficult. The specific challenges Disney faces are surprising for a company that prided itself for so long on being ahead of the curve. Disney's vision of youth savoring the challenge and the promise of the future is hard to locate in the reboots and prequels and origin stories and multi-episode side quests.
I agree with that.
Iger said in that interview that we have to entertain first. It's not about the message.
Well, then please explain why your movies suck. Why you keep trying to shoehorn message in. And that's what we've been saying, not just Disney, and Hollywood in general. They have had this 10-year period now going on where they've just spent all their time trying to ham-fist narrative and agenda at you instead of actually making characters and stories good. And we keep saying, you know, for decades, we had a lot of diverse characters in films and shows, but those films and shows were good. Those characters were good. They weren't, their sole identity wasn't just, I identify as blank. Let me tell you why you're all a bunch of assholes. You know, and then they were like, why don't people want to go to the movies? Because you want to go to movies to escape, to be entertained, not to be just force-fed more narrative and bullshit. You're trying to get away from that. You don't want to, you know, you can see diversity and inclusion done organically, and it happened for years. And people, like when we were kids, even in the 90s, there was constantly movies and actors and different things, actresses that were, you know, different races, different, you know, ethnicities, different genders, whatever. People didn't care.
No.
Like, they didn't, it was, oh, it's a new Will Smith movie, hell, hot damn, I'm there. You know, you didn't give a shit. Denzel Washington, woohoo, you know? Halle Berry's Storm, I mean, that was up for debate, but still. You know, I'm just saying, like, you didn't think anything of it. You're just like, oh, I can't wait to see that movie because, you know, these people are in it. They keep spinning this narrative that until recently, no one liked those movies or cared. And that's a load of shit because I was there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's so like you said, it's ham-fisted. You can do this. You can represent different people on screen and not have it be ham-fisted. You got to create characters in movies that people care about. And the more they keep turning away from that, and the more they keep doing, like, you know, agenda bullshit and trying to shove something in just to get high fives from a small group of people, they are turning away the audience in droves. And it's not because everybody's a bigot. It's because everybody's tired of being lectured at. You get lectured at every day. Like, you go on social media, you're lectured at. You go on the news, you're lectured at. You get lectured everywhere. And even if you're not one of the people that you know, just, you know, prescribe to that mindset, it doesn't matter. Because hardly anybody actually does. The extremes are called the extremes for a reason. The majority of people are in the middle, and they're being yelled at from both sides. You're not this enough. You're not that enough. Why aren't you? You have to support this and that. And most people just like, I just want it to go back to being Disney. I mean, they just want Disney to be Disney. So they said the company he leads, that would be Disney, has always been about messages handed down across generations and beloved stories. The question is whether Disney can ensure anymore that people are even listening. And I think that's it. I think when you get screamed at, after a while, you just tune it out. You know, that's like you get like bad. I'm sure Geeky knows this, being a teacher. You get bad kids that are used to being yelled at all the time. It doesn't even work on them anymore because they just tune it out.
When I used to teach in elementary school, I wouldn't even go to the faculty room in some schools because I'd eat by myself. Because if you went into the faculty room, they spent their whole time bad-mouthing certain kids. Just wait till you get this kid next year. This kid's terrible. So what I did was, and it was when there was kids that they were always getting notes sent home about how bad they were. If they were good for me, I sent them home about how good they were. If they were kids that usually misbehaved in class because maybe, there was a reason, maybe they couldn't sit still, or maybe I would find ways to include them or find a way to meet with them where they were at. And I let kids who didn't have any money, or there was a lot. I worked in one school that was really, really poor, and I'd let them borrow art supplies, and they always brought me their artwork and brought the supplies back. And then I had no trouble with these students, ever. Like, they were good as gold for me because I actually listened to them. I actually made sure I met them where they were, and I didn't just keep screaming at them and hitting them with stuff, and not until the place they just didn't care anymore because why bother?
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. It's like everybody just keeps telling you about you're a bigot, you're this, you're that. If you don't like to the point where you're not allowed to not like something because there's people that worked really hard on that, and you're a terrible person if you don't like it because they worked hard. Well, you know what? It's still dog shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you work harder, I guess. This is the same people that, you're saying that aren't creative now and don't believe in hard work. And then they're offended when you don't like their shit.
Yeah.
Shocker. But my vibes were good. My vibes were fantastic. Did you work at it? No, but I kept the morale up. Well, your movie's still shit.
Your movie's still shit. All right. So we're going to blame MAGA.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand at all.
This is coming from Newsweek. I think it's just word salad to get the headlines.
AI?
I don't know. They're basically just talking about how conservatives are turning on Disney, but it's not just conservatives.
It's not, though.
Because if it was just a handful of further right conservatives that were turning on Disney, we would not see the movies flop as much as they were. Because let's be honest, those people probably weren't invested in geek stuff anyway, because a lot of people that are very far right don't give a crap about geek stuff because it's a non-essential. Like, they don't care about it.
But this is a problem. Like, they're trying to. Their new take is we're going to boil it down to Disney's feeling is because somehow the vocal minority is still the majority. It would somehow be the majority causing Disney to fail.
Yeah, 38% of Trump fans had an unfavorable or very unfavorable view of Disney. Only 12% Biden voters felt the same way.
To be fair, the people that voted Biden were extremely on the left. But most people who are in the middle, even the ones that lean left, are like Biden. No. That was a mistake.
So this is interesting.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's asleep at the wheel. So, like, literally, he's asleep at the wheel. So they're talking about the box office performance. This has nothing to do with politics. This is like people are. I mean, it does to some degree, but people are tuning out
because it's like the Marvels when they're yelling about men hate it and that's why it tanked. It's like, but you're forgetting the fact that number women didn't go see it either, and the top audience were men. So. Disney's biggest, audience was probably, I think, the middle. I don't think it was either extreme. I think it was the middle, which makes up the most of the people that lean one way or the other. But I think that was your biggest audience. I think you lost the middle.
That's exactly it, because Disney always made movies for everybody, which is why Disney was this cultural touchstone, because it was something everybody was familiar with these movies. So they're going around like actually trying to create division by being like,
well, that's what I'm saying. All they're going to do is
ask some Trump voters what they think about Wish.
All they're going to do is just take anybody. They're basically saying if you don't like Disney stuff, it's because you're a MAGA hat wearing whatever, and all it's going to do is just piss people off.
So they're talking about right-wing personalities being critical of Disney. So does that include Jay Rizzullo? Does that include Nelson Peltz? They
keep saying we are. Guess what? We're not Republican, dumbass.
This is ridiculous. So they're just trying to this is.
Anybody who doesn't like what I don't like is a Nazi. I mean, that's why you can't say that anymore because now they all support being Nazis. Apparently, I don't know.
I can't keep track. Who are we supposed to be rooting for?
Anybody we don't like
seriously
is MAGA.
Like before it was like, you're anti-Semitic. That's awful. Get the hell off of Twitter, you anti-Semitic.
Now they're themselves being anti-Semitic
now
and
they're
then
like,
getting high fives for it.
Now we're like, yeah, it's cool. It's cool when we do it. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
I don't even know, but they're they're doing their usual. So, well, who was that? It was Newsweek?
Newsweek.
They're resorting to the old tactic of, we're going to try to bully you into submission by saying that anybody who doesn't like Disney is because they're alt-right. I hate to break it to you, sweet cheeks. A lot of people don't like Disney right now, and a lot of them lean left, a lot of them lean right, and but the majority of them, I think, are in the middle.
Yeah.
And I think that you're just pissing everybody off in general because you're not being Disney. Disney was known for being a certain type of thing. Disney is no longer that type of thing, and everybody's sick of it. And the agenda shit, I've heard people that identify in ways that they're pushing in the movies are mad because they think it's too over the top and stereotyped.
Absolutely.
So you're just pissing everybody off and then telling everybody they're terrible people.
Yep. So that's what's good. Basically, everybody is over Disney at this point for a variety of reasons, and they really need to go stand in the corner and think about what they've done. What? Are we gonna wrap this one up?
Yeah.
All right. There we go, guys. New York Times calling the time of death on Disney. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.